Oh, you like it.
Hello, I love you. Is that your son, Sharon? Is that your son with the shirt Want to welcome everybody out. Just a reminder before we get started, we got about 6 minutes to put your phone on silent or vibrate. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Glad to have everybody out tonight. Biggest crowd we've had since COVID. Nice to see y'all.
It'll be my luck.
I'm not like we want us to get you our passport. That's fine. Fine with us. Still, we've got about 5 minutes. Just want to remind everybody when you're speaking at the podium to please be respectful. And we'll give everybody 3 minutes each. And I mean, if it's something you're really passionate about, we'll give you an extra 30 seconds. So,
You're so kind.
I know. We'll help out any way we can. But just try to, let's just all try to be respectful of one another. We'll get our point across and we'll do the best we can tonight. Still got 4 minutes. Keep talking. Yes. Yes. Exactly. That's the way they do it. It's just, we just don't have any. So, it'll be fine, I promise you. I'll be online tomorrow. I promise you, everything will be good in the next. I promise you, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work.
It was on the front page.
You got a promise not to buy.
Last week. 10 City. Yeah.
You can give it to me and I'll give it to you, whatever. Yeah.
On that one, I've seen that already.
remind everybody one more time to either put your phone on vibrate or on silent. And, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Everybody will stand. We'll ask, Raymond Miller, our veteran, to open us up with prayer.
Dear Lord, we come together to, have this, town hall meeting. We pray that, your divine wisdom and guidance will, be enlightened upon our leadership so that they make the right decisions. We, come with gratitude for the many blessings that we already enjoy, and we recognize the many miracles that you've already performed for us. We are humble in regards to, this, and we're here, giving us this guidance. In Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Father, stand, we'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That dog even knows the pledge. That is awesome. All right. Just like to thank everybody for coming out. There's still a few chairs around up here. If anybody needs, there's a couple up front, some in the middle. If anybody else needs a seat, you're more than welcome to find one there. Thank you, Jay Bird, for finding one. Alrighty. So, on mayor's comments, I actually met with, Blue Stage today, David with the Blue Stage, and they're planning on opening up towards the end of April. And there's gonna be a huge change in the highway pattern going through there. We're gonna put roundabouts all through town. No, just playing on that one. But no, the road that we normally use going from, Main Street up to the post office was gonna be closed, because actually in his ownership, he owns all the way over to the line of the library. So that spot will be closed. We did ask him to leave us a couple of parking spaces, so we'll have a couple up front. And so there will be a divider gate there and a couple of parking spaces. I'll be doing a Facebook Live later on this month on that and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the road coming out from the post office, it'll be like a gravel road that comes down by the Blue Stage. We're gonna go ahead and barricade that off and get people used to not using that road, so we can prevent anybody running through his fence or anybody having an accident that's unnecessary. So I did say I'd mention that, and give his business a little boost by saying definitely support him when he gets open in April. All right, very good. That's it for mayor's comments. Agenda, any amendments? Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Approval of minutes for March 7th, 2023, regular board meeting. Had a second to look over them?
I make a motion, we approve the board minutes from March 7th.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Reports. I'm sure the chamber's gonna start this off and get us going.
Well, since you mentioned the Blue Stage, we do actually have two really.
Oh, you like that?
Hello, I love you. Is that your son, Sharon? Is that your son with the shirt back Want to welcome everybody out. Just a reminder before we get started, we got about 6 minutes to put your phone on silent or vibrate. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Glad to have everybody out tonight. Biggest crowd we've had since COVID. It's nice to see y'all.
It'll be my luck.
I'm not live streaming because of connectivity issues and recording the meeting.
You want us to get you our, passport? That's fine. That's fine. I'm done. Still, we've got about 5 minutes. Just want to remind everybody when you're speaking at the podium to please be respectful. And, we'll give everybody 3 minutes each. And, I mean, if it's something you're really passionate about, we'll give you an extra 30 seconds. So.
You're so
but,
kind.
I know. We'll help out any way we can. But just try to, let's just all try to be respectful to one another. We'll get our point across and we'll do the best we can tonight. Still got 4 minutes, keep talking. Yes. Yes. That's the way they do it. So, it'll be fine, I promise, it'll all be online tomorrow. I promise, everything will be visual and everything. I promise, come on, work, come on, work.
It was on the front page.
You got a promise not to buy.
Last week. 10 City. Yeah. Right.
You can give them to me and I'll give them to you, whatever. Yeah.
On that one. I've seen that already.
Remind everybody one more time to either put your phone on vibrate or on silent. And, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Everybody will stand. We'll ask, Raymond Miller, our veteran, to open us up with prayer.
Dear Lord, we come together to, have this, town hall meeting. We pray that, your divine wisdom and guidance will, be enlightened upon our leadership so that they make the right decisions. We come with gratitude for the many blessings that we already enjoy, and we recognize the many miracles that you've already performed for us. We are humble in regards to, this, and you're here, giving us this guidance. In Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. While we're standing, we'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That dog even knows the pledge. That is awesome. All right. Just like to thank everybody for coming out. There's still a few chairs around up here. If anybody needs, there's a couple up front, some in the middle. If anybody else needs a seat, you're more than welcome to find one there. Thank you, Jay Bird, for finding one. Alrighty. So, on mayor's comments, I actually met with, Blue Stage today, David with the Blue Stage, and they're planning on opening up towards the end of April. And there's gonna be a huge change in the highway pattern going through there. We're gonna put roundabouts all through town. No. Just playing on that one. But no, the road that we normally use going from, Main Street up to the post office was gonna be closed, because actually in his ownership, he owns all the way over to the line of the library. So that spot will be closed. We did ask him to leave us a couple of parking spaces, so we'll have a couple up front. And so there will be a divider gate there and a couple of parking spaces. I'll be doing a Facebook Live later on this month on that and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the road coming out from the post office, it'll be like a gravel road that comes down by the Blue Stage. We're gonna go ahead and barricade that off and get people used to not using that road, so we can prevent anybody running through his fence or anybody having an accident that's unnecessary. So I did say I'd mention that, and give his business a little boost by saying definitely support him when he gets open in April. All right, very good. That's it for mayor's comments. Agenda, any amendments? Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Approval of minutes for March 7th, 2023, regular board meeting. Get a second to look over them.
I make a motion, we approve the board minutes from March 7th.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Reports. I'm sure the chamber's gonna start this off and get us going.
Well, since you mentioned the Blue Stage, we do actually have 2 ribbon cuttings, which is a Saturday, doing a ribbon cutting for Andrews Valley Rail Tours at the Depot. And on April 28th, we're doing a ribbon cutting for the Blue Stage.
Very nice.
So everybody come out to those. We want lots of people in the pictures so that when they get their picture back, they have fond memories of how many people showed up.
Absolutely. And speaking on ribbon cuttings, Jan and I was up at the Erlanger, and they're now urgent care. Their hours are extended through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So if you need to go to urgent care, you don't have to drive to Murphy, you don't have to drive to Blairsville. You can simply drive up across from the middle school. They are open on weekends.
That's right. Next Friday, the 14th, is our first Food Truck Friday of the year, so everybody come out. The food trucks that we have the Food Bank, we have Smoky Mountain Barbecue, Frankie's Doghouse, New Ventures Coffee, they have cold coffee. School Summer Camp, they're doing, funnel cakes, they're doing burritos, they're doing tostadas and other snacky things. Lobster Dogs will be there again, the Ark will be there, Jerry's Gourmet Kettle Corn, and Sweet Pig's Hot Dogs. So we've got a nice variety of food. And anytime you wanna know what vendors or food trucks are gonna be at Food Truck Fridays, I always put up on the Monday before, I put a sign up in the chamber window that has everybody listed out so you can see who's gonna be there. Our entertainment is called At Risk Youth. And I think I told you guys last month, the guy that's in that band is actually a Cisco guy for a lot of the restaurants in town here, so that's how we found out about it. The 22nd, which is the Saturday after that, is Spring Fling. And we, as of today, we have 83 vendors and 132 booths for Spring Fling this year. We're going to have a, petting zoo, we're gonna have rock painting, we're gonna have all kinds of fun stuff for kids, we've got bouncy house. Been talking to Jumpers Party Rentals about bringing that soccer, thing with that she had on Facebook, and it's got it looks like a dartboard, but it's got soccer balls that you can kick at it. So hopefully she'll have that there. We're gonna have the Doxy Derby, which is wiener races, those take place at 12 o'clock across from the library. And Rocky the Hellbender's back this year, he's gonna be in the library from 10 to 2. So we got all kinds of fun stuff going on the 22nd, 11 to 5 that day.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's
So,
fun.
yeah, and if you haven't been out to one of the Food Truck Fridays, you just don't know what you're missing. It's a good time, and it is growing. Every event grows more and more, so it's absolutely great. And of course, Spring Fling's always great. So we appreciate the Chamber for everything they do. Any other reports? Yes. Let's see, go ahead, we'll get you out, library. Okay, come on up. We'll get you next bill, and then we'll get Jay Bird.
As most of you know, we had a little flood issue, and we're in the midst of getting ServPro of Nantahala was awesome. That's all I can give them is kudos. They were there within just a few hours, got it vacuumed up. They've taken out all the drywall. They have taken out the carpet in the back half of the library. But as of today, we have most everything out of the way. We're going to try to get back to our normal operating schedule. 837 Junk is bringing a storage container, and when it gets here, we'll have everything out of the way. We, of course, as you know, with insurance and all of that, it may be a couple of months process, but we're doing business as usual. And as Nola said, on Friday, April 21st, we're doing the educational day for Andrews Elementary School. So they'll be bringing the elementary school kids down. And we'll have Smokey Bear, we have Main Spring coming, we have several others that are gonna do demonstrations for the kids. Tim Massey is gonna do sound. It's just gonna be a fun day. And then on Saturday from 10 to 2, we'll have Rocky there. And Tony Bryant's gonna have his Native American collection and do some educational things about it. And Eve Miranda Creasman is gonna do medicinal herbs and Indian lore. So that it'll be a Native American day, basically. So pretty much right now, we're trying to do as much business as usual and get everything back into working order.
Very good.
That was everything we had.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And I'd also like to thank the town crew for all the hard work they did coming out
Oh, yeah.
and helping everything get going on that before ServPro got there.
Yeah,
You know that.
Tony was there within 15 minutes of the time I called in that morning, so.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the boys,
But
so.
while you're thanking the town, we should thank you and all the town people for getting that tree out of Hall Park.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was our pleasure. We thought that was gonna be a lengthy process, but it worked out real nice. We got it all
We're a
down.
little worried about it.
Yeah, we all did a little pro bono time on that one for
Yeah.
sure.
The old man was very lucky.
Yeah.
Richard, yeah. Yeah.
Good Lord's looking out for
That tree fell just in the perfect spot, it missed
I know.
the gazebo.
you. He usually sets something that feeds them squirrels,
Yeah.
bread,
Mhm.
and I come along right after it happened. I was scared to death.
Okay, Bill Anderson.
I won't take 3 minutes. I'll take a minute. Mayor Reed asked me to come and give the group here an update update on the beautification project going on. This will be the 7th year, and happy to report that the baskets will be hung probably the first week of May, pending weather. Last year, we had 82 sponsors and raised $18,900 to pay for the baskets. It also includes paying for the street decorations on the east and west side of town in Hall Park. The goal this year was to beat that, and today we have 80 sponsors, so we still need 10 more.
That's great.
So I'm hoping there'll be some people here that might join us. There's 3 of you aldermen that have some paperwork to drop off, so I can give those to you. The beauty of this project is it costs the town of Andrews zero, except for the watering and the maintenance of it. But the sponsorship of the generous people here in Andrews pay for the cost of all the baskets.
So if anybody on the board or otherwise that wants to sponsor a basket, just raise your hand and he'll give you out a sheet.
You two have already done it.
I've got one, but I've
I've
lost
always
it.
done this, I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we appreciate you doing this because it's very expensive, just water.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're looking at 4 hours a day, at least 6 days a week usually. But, we appreciate everything you do to knock out this $20,000 because I know in Murphy, they have to raise a lot of taxpayers' dollars just to pay for the flowers they put out and stuff, their baskets and stuff, and it's a huge deal. So we appreciate you doing that for the town of Andrews.
We appreciate the town taking care of the water. Anybody else? I've got a few more for other.
Thanks so much, Bill. Jay Bird? I'm James Ellis. If you don't mind, you can do whatever you want to do. First, I want to give a big shout out to James Ellis on the Easter egg hunt the other day. He did an outstanding job. He had 2 of his teenage kids that were dressed up in the bunny costumes that I don't think I could have got my kids to do that, but he did an outstanding job.
I had to pay him $20, please.
Oh, I'm sure. You got off cheap. You got off cheap.
I haven't paid them yet, so. I hope they're not watching. They're actually at ball games right now. For the rec department, the rec league soccer and baseball and softball is underway. The baseball and softball's various days during the week, and then the soccer's on Saturday. I wanted to say the same thing, Easter egg hunt, we had 38 kids that showed up, so we're keeping count, and hopefully next year it'll be a little bit bigger. And I have to thank yous for Chastity, Brandy, Jonathan, and Brian put that all together. I mean, he's above and beyond when he does anything, so.
He's awesome.
He's awesome at that.
You and him are polar opposites, and y'all do great together.
We work well together.
You do great together.
The pool work, we start pool work next week. We'll pressure wash it and take the water out of it, and it should be ready by the mid-May. That's what we're hoping. I am taking pool parties now. I've already got about 10 dates that are on my calendar, so if you want those, and you better call quick.
June 18th.
Concrete path, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, that goes to the bridge. I talked to Jamie Bateman the other day. We just need 3 days of good weather. So that's on the docket. The pipe replacement, that's gonna happen next week. And with that happening, those bathrooms down there will be back up and running. We have spring co-ed softball, those sign-ups are going on now. Just get a hold of me or Brian, and that's all I got.
We appreciate you.
Perfect.
Who's that? Are y'all on the agenda? Anybody else for, reports? I'll give a quick report for our police department. Rocky is very sick, tested positive for COVID, but is doing pretty good. And, I spoke with him shortly today, but we are fully staffed with the police department. I think it's the first time since I've been in office in 5 years that we've been fully staffed. So I'm excited about that. I know we've had to offer officers a lot of incentives to come to Andrews, and now that they're here, they appreciate being here. I get a lot of backlash on take-home cards and stuff like that, but changing times is changing times, and you gotta roll with it. And, several of us was on this board when we didn't have an officer to patrol the street at night, and we were begging the county to come up and please, and it was like the wild, wild west. So I'm very thankful for what we have and thankful for Rocky and all of our police department. That's all I got to say about that.
Well said.
What's that?
Well said.
Yeah. All right, new business. Discussion of second phase of fire hydrant replacement. Like to start off by saying fire hydrants are going great. We're getting them all in. I feel like the houses are much safer now that are in these districts, that they've already been changed. And, I think we've spent right at $26,000 to $28,000 so far. And I would like for this board to go ahead and vote to spend another $26,000 to $28,000 to go ahead with phase two, and let's get the next ones rolling. Everybody on my street's been yelling at me because ours is bad too, and they're like, "You're the mayor, yours should have been replaced first." I said, "That's not how it works, mine'll be the last one. Mine'll be phase 3 or 4. But, entertain a motion to go ahead with phase 2 on this.
Well, have they got anybody else to look at doing the bid on this too? I mean, the first phase, did they bid it off or did they?
No, it's, time is of the essence when you've got over 50 hydrants out in your town, and if a fire happens, and actually, Parker Ledford's doing us a favor because they're putting 5 or 6 jobs on the back burner just to come in here and do this for us at a cut rate. And I see what you're saying, Steve, but, I mean, if it wasn't a safety issue, I would agree with you 100%, but where did the safety issue?
Yeah, I just was wondering, cause the guy that done the trailer park up there was wondering why we hadn't bid this off.
Okay, well, and I'll be more than happy if you wanna start dealing with the fire department on phase 3 and get with them and try to set that up, then we'll do a separate bid on phase 3.
Yeah, I'm just, people, the people put the pipe in up there, Higdon, so they was wondering why it wasn't bidded off, so.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, if you wanna meet with the fire department on phase 3, we'll let you handle that as far as getting the bid process going on phase 3, because we're about a month and a half out on that.
That'll work.
Alright,
I'll make a motion, we, move forward with the second phase of the fire hydrant.
Up to 28,000.
up to 28, yes. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any discussion? Very good. Alright, item B, discussion to approve quote for water line replacement at the Andrews Public Library. I hate to say, but I'm not familiar with this. Anybody got info on it?
Okay.
I apologize for not.
Tony had, brought in Christian Plumbing.
Mm-hmm,
They seem to be the only plumbing company that was interested in doing the job,
And they could do it in a week.
and they had the time and the time frame to do it in. Tony had asked, I know he had asked Haney's, and they were so busy they didn't have time. And one other that he didn't tell me the name, and that they didn't have time to do it. So that was the only one that showed up to do a quote.
And that's
And
what,
it-
that's what led to what happened, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's under our threshold, the total is.
It's, the water lines are separate, the plumbing is separate from the flooding.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
So, the total cost on the project is $6,239, it's under our threshold, so I think we probably need to go ahead with that. Or otherwise our insurance company's gonna hang us.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
It would cost more
Yeah.
for the damage, because the first time they found the first leak, it was leaking into the electrical box.
Oh, mercy.
Because all of our plumbing runs in the ceiling.
Right,
And so it had leaked, it was leaking down, and Tony and Derek found it.
okay, very good.
Yeah, it
So,
would be a much worse situation.
Yeah. we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Very good. Item C, discussion to approve quote for prefabricated metal building for recreation department. Got something on that, Jay Bird?
Yeah, it's just a metal building that's gonna go right beside the one we have for, we've got enough tools now, we've got enough mowers, and, just to park the truck in at nighttime, that way it doesn't get vandalized or anything like that. It's gonna go right beside the one that's.
As soon as we get it up, can we get cameras around it and
Yeah.
inside of it?
Yeah,
That's all I ask.
What kind of building
it's
is
just a prefab metal building that they come out. It's
What
just-
about 20 by 9 high?
Okay.
It's an
Just for the,
item
just for
D
the
on your
truck.
list.
Oh, okay.
That way we can get it out of the workshop.
Entertain a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion, we approve the prefabricated building for the rec.
I ain't bad deal.
No.
That's good too. Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. All right, item D, discussion of sale of 2018 Ford Taurus Patrol vehicle to county for $20,000. If sale is successful, the $20,000 would go towards the purchase of another patrol vehicle. This is the K-9 unit, and recently our K-9 lady has went on back into construction. So if y'all wanna table that till we talk to Rocky, or if you wanna go ahead with it, make a motion.
What happened to the dog?
Been gone for about 3 months.
Where did it go? Which?
She actually bought the dog back. She paid for the dog and bought it back because we don't have a handler, so it's a liability issue if we keep the dog without a handler.
Well, we got our money back.
We got all of our money back.
I'll make a motion, we move forward with the sale of the 2018 Ford Taurus Patrol vehicle to sell to the sheriff's department.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Okay, this is a wide topic right here. Item E, discussion of zoning matter. David Rick's outside.
Yes.
Is he the one that asked to put that on? Huh?
No, Robin Sargent did.
Okay, we'll, entertain a motion to go into closed session with that?
Yep.
Figure out what it is, cause I don't see Robin here.
Make a motion to table.
I'll make a motion, we table that
Closed
for
session.
closed session.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Approval of tax releases. Item E. We only have, we only have the one.
Yes.
Entertain a motion for a tax release for the Millsap property.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
What was it now?
It's the one that got de-annexed, and so the bill came out, but they were de-annexed, so they don't owe the bill.
Okay.
Have a motion, we have a second, they all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Valleytown Visionary Guild induction and presentation. Hey, that's on y'all now. Save the best for last almost.
Well, good evening, and thank you for allowing us to come up and speak tonight. My name is Michelle Morgan, and I'm joined by Stacey Jewell, Kathy Dillon, and Lisa McGregor. We are the members that make up the board of the Valleytown Visionary Guild. We are a newly formed nonprofit organization with the purpose and mission to work on behalf of this town and the surrounding communities. Our desire is to pick up the threads of history and weave them into the fabric of our future. Andrew's future is bright. We've talked about many positive things coming up here in the near future, but we realize that there are some things that need our attention in order to preserve and protect our history and culture, even as we work to improve what we already have. Our first project we've identified is Fairview Park. Everybody knows this park here at Locust and Fifth. It's a park that generations of kids have played in and made memories. And it's a park that's still well used today. Some people even know it as the Pinwheel Park because Pinwheel does use it very frequently throughout the year. And we want to help ensure that children can continue to play there safely for generations to come. So this board has been working for the last few months with James Ellis from the Parks and Rec, and we've devised a multi-phase plan to refurbish and reimagine the park. And so tonight we're here to present phase one, which will include a new and relocated parking lot, repairs and updates to the restrooms, New fencing, which will enclose the new parking lot, which will create a more secure and, just aesthetically pleasing here and all around. A new sign which will officially identify the space as Fairview Park. As it is now, there is not even a sign to identify it as such. New trash cans, planter boxes, and refurbishing and rearrangement of existing equipment to create a more functional flow for the park, delineating spaces for various types of play and for various ages. There will also be a collaborative effort with the Andrews Police Department and Andrews Public Library to promote public safety and community connections. So with these plans in mind, we have already secured in-kind donations for some of the materials and the labor. The parking lot is the first and most pivotal part of this first phase. We have plans to relocate the existing parking area, which is on Locust. I don't know if they'll have a map in there. Is there a map in there for them? But if you know where Locust is, you know that's where the parking lot is for the park. Our proposal is to move it to the base of that triangle off Fifth. It is a much less busy street and therefore will be safer. And it will also create more space for parking as the proposed footprint is 60 by 60. Steve Jordan has generously agreed to donate the services and materials to do the dirt and excavation work that needs to be done to ensure proper drainage and foundation for the parking lot. But we're here tonight to ask the town to provide funds for the gravel and other materials necessary to complete the job. So in total, we would like to ask the town for $5,000 towards this crucial part of the plan. And we'll answer any questions that you might have.
Only thing that I was looking at, you know, they said 60 by 60, but I think a 60 by 30 would be more feasible, not taking so much of the park out, you know, on there, and it wouldn't take, you know, as much gravel and all that stuff. But I was gonna bring my equipment in there and move the dirt down to a grade where you could put gravel on it. And if it needs some fill in it, I could bring some flagstone waste in there and pack it down. But I was gonna do that. Since I didn't donate money to the flyer, I felt bad. I need to do something for the town, so. Do, you know, bring my equipment up there and with Jay Bird's help.
I'd like to walk that with you and just take a look at that footprint. The Batemans have looked at it before too, and they gave me a quote, and, we talked about a 60 by 60. I think that we could put some cones up just to see what you think.
You're gonna cut your parking in half if you go to 30 by 60.
I know, and there's enough room at the bottom of that, that even if we went 50, you know, you really won't be able to get at least 10 cars in there. And I don't want any parking along this road. I'm gonna move the fence closer to the road. And then there won't be an entrance along this road. The only entrance will be, on the opposite side. There'll be one entrance where there is now. But you guys have already approved the fence. So, I'm gonna expand it closer to the road. That way you can't get in that way. And we'll put cones up and you can kinda see like what kinda looks better. But,
I just was worried about taking so much more of the playground.
Well, what you lose, you're gonna gain back by moving the fence, or.
well, the fence is gonna go around the parking lot anyway.
Right.
But that bottom part of the park, I don't think that you'll see that big, even if we just go to 50 foot.
A couple things that worry me about that park, and I've been playing in it since 1972, and, the wetness. There's live springs that come off that mountain, and I would like to see us get with the Furby Foundation, because see, the park was named after, they have millions of dollars that they can put at this. I have absolutely no problem with this board allocating $5,000 for gravel from there. I would like to see the plant over there hauling the gravel so we get the most bang for the buck. You know, they can haul in 20 ton for $600, and so, you know, on a 60, where we at, 60 by 60?
Yeah.
I'd say you would probably only need about, I don't know, somewhere around 5 trucks, and that'd be around $3,000. But I think we could definitely earmark $5,000, and then just let us handle lining up the gravel and getting it after Mr. Jordan's done with the prep work. And we'll leave it up to y'all to stay on him to tell us to get ready.
And we do have plans to go after the Fairview Endowment Fund.
Yeah, there's millions,
Yes.
and that's where we need to go. And if anybody don't know Mr. Furby, you need to do your history on him. He's buried at Valley Town Park. Great man. He was mayor for right at 50 years. He died in 72 when I was playing in the playground. He probably saw me and didn't get the butt. Anyways, but a great man, did a lot for Andrews, is a banker, super guy. He dedicated his whole life to Andrews.
And Cal told me to come, and he might put some money into it, the county too.
Well, we'd be happy for any matching funds that the county would do.
We might be able to
Absolutely.
win.
We know they're dealing with a lawsuit or two, but we'd be more than happy to take any money they wanna give us. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, we really appreciate it.
Oh,
We're
well, let us
excited.
vote on it.
I'm sorry.
Entertain a motion to earmark $5,000 for the gravel of, Furby Park.
I'll make a motion.
Yep.
Donate $5,000 for the park.
We have 5,000, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Ah.
Very good.
Great. No, thank you,
No,
thank you very
thanks.
much.
And we're excited about working with y'all in the future
Yes,
and,
we're
and
super
any
excited.
grants we can get. And I would encourage a conversation with Sarah Tatum. I did the mowing at the elementary school up here, and she has got in over probably 50 to 100,000 in new equipment in the last 2 years just off grants. She's constantly bringing in grant money, and she helped us get helped us get some grant money for our other park down at the other place. So Sarah Tatum's a huge advocate to go to lead you in the right direction so you don't have to look.
She called me the other day and
Yes.
we talked about, I mean, she's been messaging me this week about that park, so.
Okay, yeah. And I think as many people we can get on board and the less the tax dollar the town has to spend, if anybody remembers back in 2017, none of us wanna go back to that.
We'll be
So-
launching some fundraising efforts as well.
Absolutely, and I'll help with those any way I can.
Starting at Food Truck Friday.
That sounds great. Sounds great. All right. The fun part of the night, public comment. This is anybody and everybody that has something to say, they're welcome to come to the podium, and you've got 3 minutes. Anybody that wants to say anything?
Hi, everybody, my name is Keith Welch. I live on Rocky Creek Road, and I'm also a life member of the VFW, right up the street here. Recently, there's been, I call Pallet Town, down at the end of my road. I don't care for it. When I moved up here, people asked me, what do you plan on changing? I said, the only thing I wanna change is my socks, if that's okay with you. But what has happened is my road has changed, and the, value of my homes and other people that live on Rocky Creek Road has changed because an individual here has allowed people to basically set up tent city, pallet town, I don't care what it is. I truly, and I'm sure my neighbors, want it gone. Cause I just don't think that's right, that someone can get a little bit of money and cause aggravation for other people. I don't know what these people are. They could be thieves, doing drugs, I have no idea. And I would really like to see it go away. I don't know how to make it go away, but I think, it really needs to just cease and desist.
Talk about the waste.
Oh, and also, there's no electricity, there's no plumbing. The waste, my wife is saying, gets thrown over the side where the river is, which goes right behind your house, sir.
Yeah,
So, that's disgusting.
yeah.
So, that's all I have to say with that.
And I would like to add my 2 cents in too. Anybody that read the newspaper week before last saw that I got trespass charges against me. And I'm very proud of those charges because I had a lady call me when I was at work and she says, you have some pallets out here behind your house, and I'm at the driver's license office, and me and my husband want to do some art projects. And I said, man, those are not pallets, those are concrete forms, and I use them from time to time. I haven't used them in a while. Sir, if you could please let me have those. And she was very persuasive. You know, this is something I really want to do, and it's passionate to me and my husband. And so I very simply was on the phone, I was up at the high school, and I was doing some maintenance work. I said, listen, if it means that much to you, get them. Get them. She backed in, she loaded up all my, concrete forms. I may not have ever used them again, so I didn't lose a lot of sleep over it. The next day I found out my neighbors, Reed Wilson, every one of his race car parts were gone. Every one of his race car parts were gone. They were piled up there by the side, and here's my problem. The mayor said we could get them. That's what they went and told to everybody. The mayor said we could get them. So I was upset at that point. I got my oil changed down at Napa, and I'm in there talking. Scott Dockery said he followed the lady down to Ray White's because they were down there getting more pallets and saw all the car parts. And they very simply said, the mayor said we could have them. I never said no such thing. I didn't even want to give my, it's art project. I felt, I was like, dang, sometimes you get in trouble for being nice. But as soon as I left getting my oil changed, I was kind of red-faced, really red-faced like I am right now. And my blood pressure is up like it is right now. But I drove up there. They told me where's that on Mr. Jordan's property up there on Rocky Branch Road. And he was out of town. I called him first and got permission to go up there and everything. Yeah, if they stole Reed Wilson stuff, go up there and get it. I did not see no trespassing signs. I can promise that. They were probably everywhere, but I didn't see them. I drove up, I got out of my car, I said, listen, y'all need to take everything back that you took from that man's car lot there. I said, none of that is mine. And they said, oh no, the mayor gave it to us. And at that point I said, I am the damn mayor, because I was mad. But they did have a pit bull, so I ran my butt back to the car, got in the car, rolled down my window, and I said, that's all I got to say about that. But that's the only time I've ever been on the property. But I was very upset, and Mr. Jordan and I we've had an argument over it. We have, and it is what it is. But I don't feel like that's what's best for our town. I feel like if you're saying that your earth, they told me what they were, they're earth ship. We are an earth ship. We dispose of all our own waste and what have you. And so yesterday I took my daughter and one of her friends down to Barlino's in Eaton. And they were getting about 20 or 30 more pallets from Nothing But Beds, going behind all the buildings, getting all the wood they can get. They're not gonna stop at their earth ship. They're gonna build the Enterprise. I can promise you that. We're gonna have the Enterprise. So, Mr. Jordan has already said they would be out by April 1st, and I'm hoping that's what's gonna go ahead with. But on her Facebook post on Cherokee County, Cherokee Scout, she said, no, absolutely not, that they're not moving. So, it is an eyesore to this town, and it hurts this town, and I've lived here all my life. And the only other person that's took me to court is Mitch Reinhardt, and God rest his soul, I love him to death. He had a good reason for it. We argued more than anybody back in the early 2000s. But I go to court Thursday on that, and just ask for all y'all's prayers that the truth will come out and what it is, and that this is ridiculous that we're having to deal with this in our small town that we're trying to build up and make a better place to live.
Gonna call it the Pallet Towers.
But Mr. Jordan, what are you gonna do about that?
Well, I told them to move, but they said, we got dogs.
So what?
It's your property.
And actually,
You own the property, right?
It ain't my property yet. It was my mom's property.
Okay.
And so I've still gotta get it all put in my name.
Do you get rent from this property?
Yes.
They are paying you rent?
Yeah.
They're paying the rent there, but they.
Well, last I heard, you hadn't gotten rent from them since
Well,
December.
that was right before Christmas and everything. I felt sorry for them. And the boy is a real hard worker, but I don't.
His truck's there all the
can't
time,
say
his
nothing
truck, he
about
doesn't
it.
work.
What's that?
Well, he's not working, is
Oh,
he?
yeah, he's been working.
Where? Cause his truck is
He
parked in
worked for
front of
Jamie
that
Bates
pallet
until
all the time.
Until he got laid off, and then he just going to work for Ingalls now. I don't see how they survive the winter.
Yes, Mike Pike.
What did the health department say about no running water and no sewer system and,
Health department's not gonna say anything, period. We've called health department out so many times, and.
on
and-
them,
No, just on everything.
on them.
Yeah.
And what does the Cherokee County zoning department say?
As Cal Stiles would say, we have no zoning in Cherokee
Cal
County.
Stiles is not the zoning department.
I know, but is there anything that can be done, David Ricks?
That's, property's not in the city limits.
Need, okay,
There you go. End of discussion.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I said the county.
That's right. This is a town matter, it's not county.
Is it in the city limits or no?
It's not.
And it's in county then,
There you
and
go.
it's county's problem.
Go to county commissioner meeting.
The county do?
But here's where I'm at with it, and this is, I'm gonna leave it at this, cause I don't wanna hear you discuss or anything else. It's this big of a problem now. After 500 more pallets get up there, it's gonna be this big of a problem. I promise you, look at videos from Oregon, California, all those other places. If that's what you wanna see, abandoned motorhomes on the side of the road and littering our town. Guys, nobody in their right mind wants to see
They
this
told
in
me
Everett.
there was gonna be a renting a trailer in town, so, I mean, that's the word they told me, and I mean,
I can tell you that
It's
some
it's
of our
in the
neighbors
contract
have
void,
called the
because
EPA.
it was, whatever contract you have for renting the property, they misrepresented themselves. And you were understanding that they had the proper sewage and they had a trailer, that
Yeah,
they
they
had
said
a
they
proper
compost-
bathroom.
they compost.
And what they're building is just a shanty. And so to me, it's like the contract null and void. It seemed like that contract, you know.
I appreciate everybody coming out, and I think if it's still there next month, please be back out here and voice your opinions more, because I feel like this is not what we need for our town, and I promise you, I'll take my first step Thursday when I see them in court and say this is not right, and it's not, yes, Jenny Pye?
The legality of it, Holly can maybe answer. Who would be legally liable in the event they get hurt? That pallet shack or whatever you wanna call it, falls in on them? Are we taxpayers, citizen, county or city, are we gonna be liable for allowing it?
It's not in city limits, so it's not gonna be us.
It'd be the owner of the property, just like it would be your house if someone tripped and fell.
I do feel very sorry for you people that live on that road. You have some very nice houses. I brought you firewood, I brought
Yes.
you gravel, and I would hate for that to be in my neighborhood. And she made 4 trips by my house yesterday, so it is what it is. I just say be vigilant, and thank y'all.
We can further discuss this in closed session, and I get permission to answer that question. if Ms.
Okay.
Pax, then I can.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you, Holly.
We will get you an answer to that question.
Thank you.
All right. That's
Can I
the
say-
first,
say something?
yes, feel free.
A couple of weeks ago, I noticed there was somebody who had a shovel and he was digging out the drains on the road. But you know, every time we have a hard rain, at least the one in front of Ferncrest gets completely clogged. And I apologize, it's my tree that's the main culprit, but there's not much I can do. I tried to keep those leaves picked up and the seed pods and everything else. I'd like it to be gone, but you know, I don't have the money right now to take that tree down, or at least get it trimmed back. I may call Duke and see if they will at least trim it. They keep telling me it's not at end of life, but I think it is.
You're talking about your magnolia?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big.
It's been there for years, and I know if I took it down, there would be a lot of people in this town that would hate me.
I bet not the bank next door.
Well, John Ivy wouldn't mind,
At the
no.
funeral, yeah, yeah.
So
But-
anyway, but I was just gonna say, because it clogs up on these big rains and it causes more water, and then I'm getting this gravelly stuff that is going in, on the sidewalk and in the parking lot, and I think it's from the sidewalks, from all that rain and the backing up of it. So
Okay.
I would
We'll
appreciate
get
you
Tony on
guys.
them and see if we can, they have been cleaning those periodically, but we can definitely put some guys on that. I bet Jaybird's, if Jaybird was still here, he'd volunteer his guys to go do that. But we will, thank you so much. Okay, entertain a motion, according to GS 143-318.11A6 and GS 143-318.11A3, that the town of Andrews go into closed session at this time.
I make a motion to go into closed session.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.